Dee, 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 dee. Hello friends, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. It is the 8th of August. I am just about to start making some more. I just already started a few. I've done them here. These are little bud vases. It's a series that I'm doing and just need to make a few more. And I have some tankards here which are, as you can see, upside down. Good idea, once you put the handle on, invert them and let the bases dry out. Okay, righty ho. What I'm going to do now though is make a cup of tea. With a spoon. Yep. I really like drinking this this matcha tea. This is don't actually need very much of it because it's pretty potent. Something like that. This is organic, non-GMO, premium matcha. Somebody said it's antioxidants on steroids. Yeah, we're doing very well with that little sale of tea bowls. I've sold 10 out of the 12. Just 2 left, so that's been really good. Well, I mean, it's good because it clears the decks a bit for me, and it's nice to offer things at a reasonable price for people. Okay. Ooh, I hear thunder. I have seemed to be having rather a lot of storms. What I find with this tea is, after I've drunk it, I get quite a lot of energy. It gives me a lot of energy. You might try that yourselves. If you feel like you want an energy boost, well, get some matcha. I tell you, it really does. It really does. Does you well for energy. Okay, I'm just going to start making just a few of these. These are bud vases. They're 8 ounces. Let's just move that actually around here a touch. I can hear the wind is getting up. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, we had a storm just earlier on, not very long ago. Now we got another. So these little bud vases, let's get one of them just to show you. Just so you get the general gist of the shape. Alright, it's quite a good little exercise to have a go at doing. If you're a little bit of a newbie thrower, moving on to doing some new shapes, you could try the old bud vase. So, breaking in. It's basically a bowl on the inside. Just bear that in mind. It's not really got a flat bottom. It's a little bit of a curvy bottom. Base. So basically what you want to do is pull a small, although he's cylindrical on the outside, as I say, on the inside he's a little bit bowly. Just bear that in mind. And then as I pull him up, he begins to take some shape, you see. Whoop! Look what I did. I jagged my finger in it. Do you ever do that? Welcome to the human race. If you do. That's it. Now I'm widening that belly there, you see. Let's get the camera. Let's bring it down for a little bit of a closer view and a little bit more of a sideways angle. Something like that. Bring it in a touch. Okay. Yeah, putting my finger in it like that is actually inconvenient because right at the top here, the thing about these the bud vases that you've got to, one has to constrict in the neck, you see, at the top here. And having done what I just did, they've not made it. That doesn't make it any easier to do it. You can feel it's got a kind of lump there. Never mind. Okay, so you really want to adopt this kind of posture here to constrict in that. Now I'm gonna bring that in. You see it's got that just there where I caught it with my finger. It looks like I'm making a right pig's ear out of this one, doesn't it? Oh, I need to get my little sponge stick in there, get some of that water just a little bit. Uh-oh, here it comes. Okay, so now I've got a little challenge on my hands because I've got a real kind of pig's ear of a top here, which I've got to somehow So this brings me to my next point, perhaps, and that is to talk to you about these guys. Now I'm going to raise it up again now. It's not a subject maybe that is spoken about very much, but I think perhaps we need to talk about it. And that is different kinds of needle tools that you might use or might encounter. Generally speaking, let's pull the camera back a bit. Generally speaking, everybody has something similar to this as for their needle tool. These are very typical. These metal ones. This is a wooden one. This is another one. They generally fail insofar as and this one particularly, the needle in question is very thick. All right, and that's the reason they fail, because they're too thick, the needle. And having a needle that is too thick, it causes drag. It causes drag. So what I've done is I've come up with a new design, which is these guys here, which are in the process of making. Now these, just to show you by comparison, there's my one next to it, you see. It's a much finer needle. So thought, well, maybe let's test out one. I was just show you. I'm gonna have to bring it in again, the camera. But I've got a classic case there of a top that needs attention. I didn't mean it to be for that to happen, but it's actually quite convenient that it has happened, because this is a typical example of a situation where you would use a needle tool, and a lot of people generally don't perhaps use a needle tool that often. They might want to use it for cutting off the uneven top of a pot, especially if you're a little bit of a beginner, so you tend to use your needle tool more so. As you get more experience, your use of the needle tool is less. But this is a case where you've done a constriction move to narrow it in, and you quite often get a little bit of... So this is, I'm going to try and cut this off with this great big thing. Okay, well I've done it. But if it because it was kind of thick, it enabled me to do it. But if you've got a slightly delicate top of a pot, so I've got one here that I've been using, this one, and this is much finer. Let's see how. Oh yeah, it's much better, trust me, it's just much better. Because it's much finer, the penetration, the entry of the needle is so much easier. Now then, yes, if you went to the doctor's office and you had to have an injection in your arm, tell me, which would you prefer? Which needle would you prefer to have stuck in your arm? Well, your pot feels the same way, trust me. The finer needle is much more painless, and it leaves less collateral damage to the pot. So yes, I'm going to be making these needle tools. If you want one, give me a shout. I don't know how much they'll be. They'll be probably $8 or $10, something like that. I'm going to finish them off and make them look nice. They'll have have linseed oil put on them, and it's a nice little fella in the hand to hold, just to put in and cut off the top of your pot. Really works very well, very nicely. I'm very pleased with them, actually, working very nicely. So let's finish this bud vase off. All right. Yeah, so that is a typical case of needing a needle tool, where you've done a constriction move on the top of a bud vase, and he's got a little bit uneven. He's going around a little bit wavily, in a wavy manner. Okay, I think that's it. No, I don't make these to a gauge. 8 ounces. I kind of have the shape is sort of imprinted in my mind, so if I just get the right weight, let's do it one more. Let's do one more. Let's drop the camera down. Sometimes that's a better angle, isn't it, from that angle? Yeah, that looks about right. Let's do one more. So I find if I have even a small lump of clay like this, I generally speaking like to just sort of cone it up a bit like that, and then centre down. And especially with a narrow-necked form where you've got to perhaps constrict in, having coned it up and centered it down, I find it generally behaves better, more compliant, you know, the clay. So being a bud vase and being close to the center of the wheel, it's a good idea not to be going too slowly. So, okay, now begin to shape it, widen it, and then back in again at the top here, you see. Okay, now widening it now, the belly to almost the fullest point there. Alright, and now sponge, take out any water. Now finishing off the top section, pulling up. Now defining the form, the neck, there. So my eye is, I'm casting my eye down the shape there, you see. Alright, now here on the top I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to constrict it in. There he is. So always when you constrict in a top, it thickens up the wall, you see. So I'm just looking for the shape, looking in my mirror over there. Okay, throwing stick, putting a throwing stick in at the foot here. Carefully, don't put the throwing stick in too brutishly. Because remember, what you do down at the base of the pot will be reflected by at the top of the pot. Check in the mirror. Just narrowing it a touch more at the top. They can have a little bit of variety, these. You can hear the wind. A little bit of variety in the form. Sometimes I make them a little wider here at the top, and sometimes a little less. It's sort of. See, everything you do to a pot in terms of the shaping and forming, etc., it adds a certain sort of feel to the pot. This one has got a slightly different top. But, in fact, I think I'm going to cut a little bit off. I think I've just got a little bit too much top here. So in with the needle. Cuts beautifully, that. Whoa. Yeah, if you were making, say, a fine porcelain bowl or something, not a bowl necessarily, but something that was fairly thin-walled, and you had to cut it off, you know, one of these guys is not ideal, because as soon as you put in the needle, it creates a drag, you know, and that can almost buckle the top of the pot. You want something that's just going to go slide in, but not create any collateral damage or disturbance, you know. So that works pretty well. Pleased with that. Okay, I think we're done here. Just use the throwing stick here, just remove some of that slurry there. Okay. How's he looking? Oh, he's not looking too bad, is he? Alright, let's cut him off. So, just lift these off like that. Put him down there. There we are, folks. Right, let's put the camera back. And so there's a little video on making the bud vase. I know I've done them before, but we like to see things more than just once, don't we? See, about learning how to do stuff, it's not just about being entertained, you know. I'm not here just to entertain you. I'm here to teach you. You've got to see things more than once or twice. You're going to have to see things quite a few times, because that's the process of learning. Is observation primarily, and then application, doing it, you know. So, hope you're all practicing out there. Yes, that little sale of tea bowls went very well. I think I've sold 10 out of the 12. Just had somebody this afternoon wanted one. So 2 left. I should tell you what the numbers are, shouldn't I? Just hang on a sec, I'll tell you what numbers are left. Yeah, number 4 and number 8 are still available. So if you've been umming and ahhing, go there and grab either of them. Hey folk, thanks for joining us. Go to my website simonleachpottery.com. Tools, I will be adding these new needle tools to the site very shortly. If you want one and you don't see it, just write to me, simonleachpottery@gmail.com. What else can I tell you? Oh yeah, keep practicing. I'll see you around town. Bye for now. Let's just take a look at those bud vases we just did. Over there, those guys. Okay, that's it folks. Bye bye. Hasta la vista.